everybody. Welcome to my stream. I'm Tall Yep. I will be casting tonight's Nexus Gaming Series Season 5 Storm Division matchup between CGL Black and a team name change. However, tonight's co-casters mixed up. Tonight I get to have BKL on my co-cast chair, so everybody say hello.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for having me tonight.
And tonight's game right now, currently we do have the maps picked out. The first, CGL won the coin toss. They opted for the first hero pick. So this map right now that we're about to play on, which will be Towers of Doom, is the map pick of Team Name Change. And then in our second one, which is also going to be a very interesting game, it will be Brax's Holdout. Currently, we are just waiting for one more of the fellow members of CGL Black to get into the lobby, and then we should get going. Currently, this is going to be their second game in NGS. They have a split record so far, 1 win, 1 loss against Abusement Park. And then tonight they're going against another seasoned team, which is Team Name Change, last season's Heroic Division semifinalists. What kind of things would you like to see tonight in this game? Any kind of particular heroes? Any kind of interesting drafts?
Nothing too big comes to mind. I'm just excited that we get to see a Braxis game, a map that is, well, has been universally looked down upon, I'd say. Its recent changes have brought it back a little bit, but I still see it as a lot less likely of a map being played, so I'm really excited to see a game on it tonight.
Yeah, I know just statistically, Towers of Doom is one of those maps that I like to see the little banter between the teams, but anyway, yeah, this is definitely one of the maps that I have seen Team Name Change pick a good amount of times in Season 4. I've also seen it played in, if I recall, the Regen Invitational, as well as the Utah Open 2, which I happen to be one of the admins of, and that's how I really got my first bit of working with NGS. And then for Season 5, not only am I playing, I am also a caster hopeful, so here I am.
Yeah, definitely. We're happy to have you here in NGS this season. I am one of the moderators. In this case, I'm Division B West moderator, but I'm really excited to see two great level teams in Storm Division going up against each other. It's going to be some really high-level play tonight.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely could be considered the cream of the crop of NGS.
Indeed. Team CGL Black, a bit newer to the NGS scene, some returning players, though. Team Name Change, though, really has been known here. They've made a name for themselves, no pun intended. But honestly, just excited to see this game.
Yeah, right now, actually, so far this is, I know that there's been a bit of a change up in the Team Name Change lineup. Some of the recurring guys, you'll recognize Netball 11, Metball 11, Nem Avenger. And then, we have some new people tonight that you guys will see in their, their debut for Team Name Change.
Yep, still here just waiting on the last member of CGL Black. So hopefully we'll get ready to go soon.
Agreed. This banter, though.
The questions, of course, coming in as to how Team Name Change ended up with both Metball 11 and Netball 11.
Netball 11 was Kawaii Sashi. there was this recurring theme from TNC where they were all going to change their name to something of ball. So, you have a netball, met ball. Their manager is Det Ball.
Proud of those three for keeping it up, disappointed in the others.
Gotta love the banter back and forth.
Absolutely. Love to see it going on between two teams. Just playing not for just wanting to win, but just playing here to have fun. You can see that in their banter back and forth. They don't mind it. They just love being here.
I'm kind of curious to see some of the stuff that may be coming on. Recently I actually got to kind of join in on one of TNT scrims. I got to spectate that, and it was kind of interesting to see some of their lineup in terms of some of the heroes they picked. I don't want to reveal anything now, but it ought to be pretty exciting to see what they bring to the table.
Absolutely. And though we have seen CGL in 2 games so far, obviously it's a very limited pool on 2 completely different maps of Dragon Chariot and Infernal Shrines. So there's no way to really tell if what they played in those 2 games will come into impact on these 2 different maps.
Well, yeah, different heroes, different maps have different, really good heroes. Like Infernal Shrines. I wouldn't, I'd be, I wouldn't be against seeing an Asmodan. Asmodan, I don't necessarily see him working here as much. It could, but like some of the things I've seen, I've seen some Genjis, I've seen Jaina's, Blaze, Alex Straza, Malfurion.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with towers, there's always that option of a global impact, like something like a Dahaka. Well, when we hit something of a much more smaller map like Braxis, you're really going to want those sustain heroes in lane. And with the recent changes, we've seen teams, honestly, there have always been the options of the 1-4 split in lane, but some teams have been moving towards more of a 1-3-1 with a 3-man rotation between 2 solid lane holders. An example that we saw was actually, if anybody was watching the Western Clash today, in Game 2 between Leftovers and Team Octalysis, with Team Octalysis running a 1-3-1 with 2 solo laners in Blaze and Dahaka.
Yeah, I actually did not see that, but yesterday I watched that map on Sky Temple with Team Freedom versus Team Liquid. That was a pretty up and down game. EU threw that at the end though.
Yeah.
That was
Team Freedom, the hope of NA.
it seems like every game there's that one team or that one player that just is the hope of NA. Like like I'm a big StarCraft fan, for a good while, some of the like the really big hope for NA was Neeb. That's the player name, and it's just one of these days NA will get on the map in terms of being known for some really solid, good teams, good gaming.
Fingers crossed. And it looks like we may have our 5th just in time. Let me double check one thing, but we should be almost ready to roll.
Yeah, we're just making sure. All right, both teams are ready. Sorry for the delay, guys. We are going to get ready and jump into this draft. All right, so just starting this up now. All right, here we go. Towers of Doom. I like it.
So CGL Black here coming in with the first pick, first ban on this map.
Indeed. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to be coming out. I mean, I know right now some of the really strong bands that you might see, you can see like a Urel ban. Jimmy's a strong band. Rainer, you might even see an Abathur just because of those tree mines that, he can place down.
Absolutely. This is honestly one of a great map for Abathur. I could definitely see him either being banned out or early picked if one of these teams is really comfortable on him. Strong picks also. Genji, as always, fast rotations and just such a deadly hero. or he could be going for something more in the solo lane department, like that Yrel, like that Blaze, or a global factor
All right,
like
so
that
we're going to have
Dahaka.
the Genji ban coming out of uh, CGL Black, which, I'm not surprised. Metball, maybe did some research, but, Metball is very Genji friendly. So let's see what the ban's going to be coming out of Team Name Change. Also, they happen to win the Tall Open 2 as well.
And out of Team Name Change, we get the Phoenix ban, a very strong ranged assassin with his shielding for that extra bit of survivability, available for the poke. He can also solo lane if need be. And CGL Black comes back with a Muradin ban, one of the top tanks right
Yeah,
now in this
Muradin's
meta.
actually, pretty strong. He has that ability just to be able to jump in the back line and just kind of, peel them away. Especially if there's a straggler, he can, somebody really low, he can just dwarf toss in, throw a, storm bolt out, and then they're done. Good night.
And the last ban coming out is an Alex
I
Straza,
actually,
actually.
I'm kind of surprised to see Alex Straza banned from Team Name Change because I've seen so many great plays in which they utilized her. But I also feel that she is a really good ban here. Just in general, Dragon Queen can be really obnoxious when you're trying to fight over, the shrines to capture.
Absolutely, and that Lifebinder, its recent buffs have made it much more of a nuisance. And for CGL Black, first pick coming out as that Dahaka, wanting to grab that macro focus and get that global pressure going on to this
Yeah,
map.
definitely very strong. I like the ability. He can easily get a safe he's in top lane. He can easily get a quick camp. Right before an objective, and then burrow it in, and boom, the counter follow up, an Abathur Yrel from Team Name Change. Yrel definitely, I would quote HGC, J-How, if I recall right, easily one of the top 3 heroes in the game right now.
And if you think Yrel is hard to kill, good luck killing a Yrel with an Abathur hat.
And we got Jimmy Rayner coming out and a Joanna.
The crusade calls.
So picking up that Jimmy, obviously, just since his recent rework, has been absolutely fantastic with that ace in the hole for the extra damage on one. Johanna also coming in such a strong tank, the indestructible coming in for that unstoppable, just extra shielding, and also a good way of just denying any
Now, if I
CC
recall
going
right,
on.
ace in the hole, isn't that only if the heroes are slowed, or is that count for stuns too?
That is true. So that will proc of things like Johanna's Punish and any other slows they pick up along the line. Stukov coming out of the ban as from Team Name Change, while Team CGL Black follows up with a Diablo ban, trying to limit the tank pool of Team
Yeah,
Name
but there's still some
Change.
good tank potential. They're gonna ETC is still open. Stitches. There's a couple openings here.
There are plenty of options still available for Team Name Change to go into. The question is, will they pick it up here or will they save it as the last pick? And we do get the Garrosh, looking for kind of that pick blow-up comp, especially with the Greymane to
Especially
follow
if
up.
it's a hatted Greymane too. There's so many options right now for Abathur with that hat build.
We have already some great clone targets out there. The displacement from Garrosh, the siege potential and damage potential from a double Greymane, the survivability of a Yrel. Abathur is just making a great comp even better.
Let's see what the final 2 picks from CGL Black will be. Lucio and Alarak. So right off
Rather
right off the
interesting.
gate, they're going for really heavy front line. I mean, I kind of, I haven't seen really any auto attacker yet from, except maybe Greymane, from Team Name Change, but the blinds will be there. I do like that silence potential from Alarak. He can chunk a lot of damage, and then, you got Raynor in the back line. So they have that potential. And then the final pick from Team Name Change is Malfurion.
Now, for CGL Black, they might be looking with this Alarak to just try and get an early game advantage by getting some picks. Special Abathur doesn't have that clone yet.
That is true. However, they have a really dangerous 4-man rotation here from Team Name Change.
Absolutely. That Greymane can put out a ton of damage Garrosh has fantastic pick potential, and there's always the option of the flip into the stun into the Malfurion roots for even more lockdown.
Yeah, right? So, we're getting ready to get into this first game for Storm Division CGL Black versus Team Name Change. And this is definitely going to be a really interesting lineup here, guys. I'm really excited about this game. So, just kind of based on the draft that you saw, who would you think, based on the draft, would have the stronger draft?
Based on the draft, I'd have to go with Team Name Change. I love the Abathur on this map. I love the 4-man they have going on with the Garrosh, Malfurion, Greymane. 3 fantastic hat clone potentials. And I'm really curious to see how that Lucio Alarak's going to work out for CGL Black, because at face value, I'm not sold
Yeah,
on
I mean, that
yet.
potential right now, Alarak has to get relatively close to do anything. And I feel like, if the Gross just shows up at the right moment at the right time, Alarak's getting flipped. He's going to get rooted potentially, and he's just going to get blown up.
Exactly, especially before he hits that 10 for Counter-Strike. He's going to be a lot more vulnerable. And for Alarak especially, those deaths can be so harmful due to losing that
However,
sadism.
the potential, let's not knock CGL Blackout though. They do have some potential there. Especially if you can see isolation coming out from Dahaka. Blessed Shield from Joe. So you got some stuns. Alarak. There's just so much
Exactly.
potential.
The options are there, and CGL does have the potential to pull off those picks and kind of almost snowball that game going forward.